Okay, so imagine this. You're sitting at a bank, you've saved up a down payment, you're about to sign the document that makes you a homeowner. The banker slides this massive stack of papers in front of you, and I mean massive, like this could double as a doorstop massive. Your eyes glaze over, your hand moves to the signature line, and then you actually sign without reading a single word. This is the story of my friend Jake, except it's worse, because Jake's one moment of laziness cost him his entire house. Let me set the scene. It's 2015. Jake is 32 years old. He's been renting apartments his whole life, paying landlords, throwing money at someone else's equity. So when he decides to buy a house, he's excited, like irrationally excited. Like, I'm finally adulting excited. He finds this beautiful 3-bedroom house in the suburbs, $300,000, a little bit out of his budget, but the realtor says, and I quote, "Don't worry, the payments are super manageable." Red flag number 1. When a realtor says something's manageable, what they actually mean is manageable for the next 3 years. Jake gets pre-approved for a mortgage. The lender offers him a sweet interest rate, 2.9%. 2.9. He's practically stealing money. At this point, Jake is already mentally decorating the house. He's chosen paint colors, he's named the mortgage Gerald in his phone. He has a problem. The closing day arrives. Jake walks into the bank with his girlfriend. There's coffee, there's a friendly banker named Susan. Susan is very friendly. Almost suspiciously friendly. She smiles and says, "This will only take about an hour." It takes 4 hours because there are so many documents. Here's where I need you to imagine being absolutely exhausted. You've already signed your name so many times that you've forgotten how to spell it. Your hand hurts. Susan offers you a stress ball shaped like a house, which is, in retrospect, deeply ironic. On page 47, yes, page 47, there's a section about the interest rate. Jake's scanning it, his eyes are doing that thing where they're open but nobody's actually home, and then he sees it. Interest rate. Fixed at 2.9% for the first 3 years, after which the rate will adjust annually based on market conditions with a floor of 4% and a ceiling of 6%. Now, most people would read this and think, oh, after 3 years it adjusts, but it's buried between mortgage insurance explanations and property tax information and something about a flood zone that doesn't even apply to him. Jake reads this sentence. His brain processes approximately 12% of it. He thinks, cool, 2.9%, that's great, and then signs without doing literally any math about what happens in year 4. And here's the kicker. This wasn't hidden in fine print. It was right there. In normal print, on page 47 of 60, Jake just didn't read it, or read it the way most of us read terms and conditions, by rapidly scrolling while pretending we understand every word. So Jake moves in. His mortgage payment? $1,250 a month. Totally manageable. He's even got money left over for furniture and coffee and life. Year 1 passes. Year 2 passes. Year 3 passes. And then 2018 rolls around. Jake gets his new loan statement. His new interest rate? 5.2%. His new mortgage payment? $1,680 a month. That's $430 more every month. Forever. Now, Jake's reaction is what I imagine it would be if someone just handed him an eviction notice written in increasingly aggressive fonts. He calls Susan. Susan is suddenly unavailable. He emails her. She doesn't respond. At this point, Jake realizes something truly terrible. He didn't just miss one sentence. He missed the entire architecture of his mortgage. He signed up for something called an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage. This is a financial product specifically designed to look affordable today and obliterate you later. The psychology is genius and evil at the same time. Here's how it works. Banks know that most buyers focus on one number, your monthly payment. So they give you a super low interest rate for the first few years. Your payment is beautiful. You feel smart. You think you made an excellent financial decision. Then the rate adjusts. Your payment goes up. Way up. And here's the sneaky part. You're now locked in. You can't just walk away. You owe them money. Even if you want to refinance, guess what? Your home's value might have dropped, or interest rates have risen, and now you're stuck. Jake was stuck.
Here's where it gets genuinely sad, so I'm going to be funny about it so we don't all cry. Jake tries to refinance to a fixed-rate mortgage, but Plot twist, it's 2019. The real estate market is tightening. His house hasn't appreciated the way he thought it would. He's underwater on his loan, which means the house is worth less than what he owes. The bank says, "Sorry, buddy, no refinance for you." His payments keep climbing. Year 5, $1,750. Year 6, $1,890. By year 7, he's paying almost $2,000 a month on something that started at $1,250. He's paying an extra $9,000 a year because of one sentence he didn't read. Jake tries to keep up. He picks up a second job. His relationship starts falling apart. Turns out mortgages are great at ending relationships. He misses a couple of payments, then a few more. Suddenly, he gets a notice that says the bank is foreclosing. They're taking the house back. And because he owes more than it's worth, even after they sell it, Jake still owes the difference. It's called a deficiency. So he loses the house and still has debt. This is the financial equivalent of losing a game and being asked to pay $10,000 for the privilege of losing. Now, here's the thing. Jake's story is not unique. During the 2008 financial crisis, this exact scenario happened to millions of people, except it was worse because housing prices collapsed and suddenly half the country had underwater mortgages. ARMs weren't created by evil geniuses plotting in a dark room. They exist for a real reason. They let people buy homes earlier in their careers when they couldn't otherwise afford them. The theory is that as you earn more money, your payments increase and you can handle it. But here's what actually happens. People don't earn more money. The economy fluctuates. They buy at the peak of what they can afford. And when that payment jumps 40% overnight, they're not prepared because they didn't read one sentence. The financial concept here is called interest rate risk. When you sign an ARM, you're basically betting that interest rates will stay low or that your income will grow dramatically. If you're wrong, you lose, and you lose your house. A fixed-rate mortgage costs more upfront, but the payment never changes. It's boring, but it's predictable. And in finance, predictable is actually really, really good. So what happened to Jake? He lost the house. He moved back in with his parents for 2 years. He's still paying off the deficiency debt. His credit score is destroyed. But here's the weird silver lining. He learned about mortgages, like really learned them. And now he's the guy who reads everything. Every word, every paragraph, every subclause about balloon payments and prepayment penalties. The moral of the story? When it comes to money, boring is beautiful. Complexity is dangerous. And that thing you're about to sign, the one that looks incredibly long and has all the important parts hidden in plain sight, read it. Or at least have someone who isn't in mortgage delirium read it with you. Because one sentence, one single sentence that Jake skipped over cost him $9,000 a year and eventually his entire house. So the next time someone tells you financial documents are too complicated to understand, remember Jake, because they're not too complicated. They're just inconveniently written to be skipped. Don't be Jake. Read the sentence. Thanks for watching. If you have a crazy money story, drop it in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss the next time we explain why your bank probably hates you. Peace out.